Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Had a good retreat yesterday. Also got a bit of a cold. It takes its process, its time. So yesterday I tried to put up that recall of last year's video, and I couldn't find the one on Instagram, or I couldn't do it. And here I put up the Facebook one also, downloaded it again and put it on YouTube. But I think not as many people were able to see it, I'm not sure. The readings come around year after year, and we keep growing as we watch them, as we ponder them and process them in the circumstances of life. Today the tension with Jesus is growing in the gospel that will lead up to the Passion on Good Friday. And there's a reason for the connection of the two readings. It's about the lifting up of the serpent in the desert. And Jesus uses this language. It's like a code language. All of the Old Testament, really, Jesus used like a code language to show the connection of his person with all that was announced in the Torah and in the prophets, and by Moses and Elijah, are the two models of saying that. Moses as the attributed author of the Torah, of the Pentateuch, the teaching, the law, the revelation of God's designs and his providence in history and human life, and how then the Word made flesh fulfills all of this. It's the big scheme of the big key to understanding the connection between the readings and the scriptures of Old and New Testament. It's a little bit strange, the whole image of the serpent, because it almost looks like something idolatrous, and actually it became that eventually in the temple, and apparently it was lost in the destruction of the first temple. And the commentary has been that that was a good thing, because it had lost its purpose, its meaning. It had become deviant. And then Jesus says to Nicodemus, "I will be, or when I am raised up, I will draw all people to myself." And in John's Gospel, there's clear reference to the crucifixion. The serpent bit them for their disobedience in the desert. But the big message of all of it is how God's providence is there then in his mercy and his love. And he has them face the evil they did, to look at the serpent, to recognize what they did wrong, to turn their hearts back to God. And it's amazing how that image of Jesus lifted up on the cross has become the key symbol of Christianity. How many people wear the cross? How many mountaintops have a cross on them? Buildings. even the famous Chagall did a famous crucifixion scene, the white crucifixion. Pope Francis says it's one of his favorite works of art. Many times through the sufferings caused by our own disorders, we come to sense, we come back to our wits, and it leads to a conversion, a change of behavior, a change of attitude, a change of lifestyle. We're stubborn, and that exposure, but that on its own is not enough. It's God's mercy, it's God's goodness. It's really, at the end of the day, the experience of God's goodness, because the crucified one is the Word made flesh. And he came to bore the bite of the serpent. He came to bear that. He bore it for us. It's a lovely morning here. I wish you many blessings today, and to be filled with God's mercy and love, no matter what the circumstances are. And we look out in the world and see all the people who suffer so much. Let's pray for them. Let's pray for them to have an experience of God's love and mercy in the challenges of life. It's amazing what God is doing, even through the sufferings of the world. It's an amazing process of transformation, of restoring life, of softening of hearts in the midst of so many horrors and injustices. God bless you. See you later, alligators.